from the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Let's go. Finish strong.
A dub.
That's a dub, baby. Let's go. Last one for the shoe.
That's up. Thank you, Coach Steichen. Have a good season.
Hey, last one, Lucas. So appreciate y'all fans, man. Good to get a dub.
Peace and blessings, baby. Peace and blessings.
The last Colts 360 until the start of the 2025 season. I'm Lara Overton one more time alongside head coach Shane Steichen. And coach, I know atop the list of the things that you enjoy most and look forward to are those celebratory locker rooms, the wins with all of your guys. And then counter to that, probably something you enjoy least is just final team meeting and those exit meetings that you have before guys leave the building at the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the year, obviously, you have a final team meeting, the last match to the team. I kind of told those guys, there's no failure in sports. There's disappointment, there's frustration, and that's our job this offseason to get those things fixed. And then going through, meeting with every player individually, getting their thoughts on the season, going through the season, rehashing the season, and, how we can get it better moving forward.
For those players who will bring back, what is your challenge to them as they enter these next few weeks? They'll get some time away, but also prepare to come back in a few weeks ready to go to work.
Yeah, 100%. I think at the end of every season, there's long seasons, you 6 months of a grind, take some time away to get with your families, but also, come back rejuvenated, in shape, ready to go when we hit OTAs.
And a big priority for you, something that you've emphasized, is accountability. That's something that DeForest Buckner touched on as well in his season-ending media availability. What is the standard of accountability that you expect guys to hold themselves to and then also hold each other to moving forward?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we talk about the standard is the standard, and that's holding, that's peer-to-peer accountability. Everything we do, we got to do it the right way and don't let anything slide, because I think that's when teams have the most success is when nothing slides, and everything's got to be handled the right way, and we handle that internally.
Okay, now I don't want to rush you, but it's only 6 weeks until we're going to be back at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Combine. I know that you'll do, in that period of time, some self-scout. You have some staff roles to fill as well, but what is the cadence of these next 6 weeks for you?
Yeah, right now, just filling the staff out. Obviously had some changes with the staff, so got to get that, situated as soon as possible and take our time, obviously, do our due diligence with those things and the staff members, but then also starting to get a look at these, draft prospects at the Combine, going through the self-scout will be the big part, going forward 6 weeks.
And looking to this weekend, of course, the playoffs upon us, two of the teams which you spent time with previously, the Chargers and the Eagles, both in the playoffs. How does that impact how you watch all the games?
Yeah, I got a lot of relationships with both those teams, and I wish them both those teams the best of luck. Obviously, you get into the playoffs, anything can happen, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch.
Hey, and something that's going to be fun to watch always is the Pro Bowl. The Colts will have a number of players represented in the Pro Bowl, among them Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson, and Zaire Franklin. Also, DeForest Buckner and Ryan Kelly selected as alternates. What have those guys meant to the team this season and just the seasons that they each had individually?
Yeah, I mean, those guys mean a lot to our football team. All those guys that, they've earned that, spot by the way they played this year. Obviously, they're voted on by, their peers and fans and all those things. And so just a shout out to all those guys for the way they went about their business this year.
We also got to give a shout out because in that win over Jacksonville, two longtime staff members, we have Dave Hammer and Fuzz, John Starlipper. What have those guys meant to the team, because each of them serving 40 years with the organization?
Yeah, phenomenal. When I got hired last year, you can see it in them. Just they've been here, they've been through it, and they mean so much to this organization. I mean, those guys have done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. The way they go about their business, the way they go about their jobs, has just been tremendous.
And we want to be sure that everyone sees it. So as we wrap up this Colts 360 for the season and this interview with head coach Shane Steichen, here is a special extended edition victory speech following that final win of the season over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, real quick. Hey, we talked about it all week, right? Finishing it strong, finishing it the right way with the W, and that's what we got done today. So give yourself a round of applause. Right? We didn't reach our goals, right? But I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. It's a long NFL season, man, and you battle right through the ups and downs of the adversity that goes through the season, but you guys kept fighting, right? And we were pros all week about it, right? And we came out on top this weekend, which was awesome, right? So give yourself a round of applause again. Real quick, all right, we're going to have a team meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock, but before we break, right, Mr. Irsay's got something to say.
All right, guys, we have 2 game balls. These are for long-term employees. You know, John Starlipper, known as Fuzzy to you guys, he's going to retire. And the only thing I can say about him was he wasn't supposed to follow the trucks from Baltimore, but he did. So he said to me, you know, Fuzzy's here. You know, what should I do? I said, well, just keep him. We need another hand to help. So through, you know, God's good fortune and his good luck, Fuzzy John Starlipper is receiving a game ball.
This has been my life.
I love you.
I'm overwhelmed. But this has been my whole life. It's time to go, but it's tough. I'm getting old. But I'll always be a Colt in here. Yes, sir.
You guys know how hard the training staff works, and everyone, you know, knows Dave Hammer is on top of things, but we have a chance to honor Dave here amongst the most important group, which is, you know, you guys and the coaches and, you know, the Irsay family. So proud, you know, that Dave Hammer stayed with us all these years, and we will miss him dearly. I just, you know, if you heard the injury updates I get from him, it's like, you know, how are we going to feel the football team, Dave, with what you just told me? It's just, you know, and so he, but he cares for you guys, and let's bring up Dave.
So, first of all, thanks to Jim and the organization and everything like that for these 41 years. It's been great. Thanks to all the players that have been graced in this locker room, right? They've all been great people. Love you guys. Couldn't have gone out a better way. Way to go, O&D, special teams and everything. Appreciate you guys. I'll be around for a little while. I'm not leaving tomorrow, but appreciate it.
That's right.
All right, men. Everyone have a good off season. Be safe. Obviously, we're disappointed, but we are 1-0 in 2025, and we have a lot of work to do. But we're still proud of the effort you guys put forward. Let's find a way back to our greatness. You know, that's what my goal is, and I, you know, as you guys are the same as me, we're committed, you know, to winning, and so far, you know, I know this year's been a disappointment, but I'm proud of you guys that you fought back and won in overtime to get us to 8-9. Very proud. I wish, you know, we could have a couple different plays. Could have been a different year, but we will work hard, and we certainly appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and Coach, why don't you take us out?
Break it down. Hammer.
Cameraman.
Let's go. Grade 25 on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Grade 25!
I'm gonna miss you, baby. I'm gonna miss you. I love you.
You know, have a lot of faith, you know, in Mr. Ballard and, you know, Coach Shane, you know, just them, you know, believing in our team and just the stuff that we're able and capable of doing, you know, just having them and just the respect and the trust that they instill in us. it just gives us a lot of more confidence to know that they're going to be back.
Still ahead, we take you to the locker room one more time. The players' thoughts on the season, moving forward, and notable free agents on navigating the offseason. Next on Colts 360.
This message is brought to you by Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, and proud sponsors of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Snickers Rookie Mistake Program is back again this season. Learn how you could win Super Bowl 59 tickets at snickers.com/NFL. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open to the Indianapolis skyline. Bud Light, the official beer of the Indianapolis Colts.
The first Monday following the end of the season is also the last of many things. The last team meeting, the last time the locker room is together, and the last time that some players will wear the horseshoe. Earlier this week, we went throughout the locker room to talk to Colts players who are under contract and those who are headed into free agency about moving forward, the future, and building into 2025. Mo, you mentioned your desire to win, also your openness to coming back. What would you need to hear from this organization to convince you to come back and that you can win with this organization?
I don't really know how to answer that because I would definitely love to be back. Like, I love it here. I've been here my whole career. So, they always say the grass isn't always greener. So you could go out there and try to find something else, but it might not be what you're looking for. So you kind of know what to expect here, but also just the commitment to being great, everyone being bought in and different things like that. At times, I think we've kind of wavered from that. And it's not just one thing that's led to that. It's just like, I think we could have got complacent and different things like that, got comfortable.
No matter how well I've played or how bad I did play, there's always something that I can do better. That's just how I am as a person. There's always something that I can do to improve my game. So there's always something for me to prove because, at the end of the day, we still haven't won. So,
as one of the leaders of this defense, what is your challenge to the rest of the guys over the course of the offseason?
Just get better. Focus on, being in the moment. Obviously, go back home to your family to, rekindle and, have that time with your loved ones. And but when it's time to get back the ball, let's get better and let's come back and move the step forward.
Just with the knowledge that both Chris and Shane are coming back, how does that impact going into the offseason, potentially either give you a peace of mind or maybe give you a clear expectation going into 2025?
We just know we got to build on, what we had this year, and we know that we kind of already know the standards, kind of how they operate, so we just got to be prepared to come back and go to work.
Obviously, I was hoping that was going to be the case because, there's ups and downs in football, and this is his second year, so he has development that he's going through himself, and I do think he's doing all of the right things. I had one season where I actually made it to the playoffs, and I see similarities in that year in what Shane is doing now. So I wanted to see him come back. It's just in this league, it's hard to win, and we fell short this year.
No, it's great, honestly. Have a lot of faith, in Mr. Ballard and Coach Shane. Just them, believing in our team and just the stuff that we're able and capable of doing. Just having them and just the respect and the trust that they instill in us. It just gives us a lot of more confidence to know that they're going to be back, and just gives us, time to, focus on getting better. Focus on the things that didn't really go well this past season. And just focus on working towards championship standards.
What does this look like for you in terms of exploring the market, your future?
I don't know yet. I'm still coming down off the season. I'm sure at some point me and Ballard will reach and a meet and talk about it, whether it's here or there. If it's not, I had a great time in Indy. Indy showed me love from the start. Leaving Lucas Oil was emotional for me on Sunday. I ain't gonna lie. It was a bit of a feeling just knowing that that could be my last game as a Colt.
Michael Pittman Jr. in motion, back in the throw as Flacco has time. Sends a rainbow down the right sideline. Underneath it is Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown. 40 yards.
Coming up, a season wrap-up, a view from the booth with voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor. examining the offseason and what's ahead as the Colts look to build in 2025. That's still ahead on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. Recently, Zaire Franklin, Quentin Nelson, and Jonathan Taylor were voted 2025 Pro Bowlers. Who holds the Indianapolis Colts record for the most times selected to the Pro Bowl? Peyton Manning was chosen 11 times, 1999, 2000, and then 2002 through 2010. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
Moves Michael Pittman Jr. in motion. Back in the throw as Flacco has time. Sends a rainbow down the right sideline. Underneath it is Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown. 40 yards. Deep bomb to Alec Pierce, the Midwestern missile from Joe Flacco, and put it right on the money. And the Colts draw first blood with a huge play in the passing game. It's 6-0 with just over a minute gone in the first quarter.
Wrapping up the season with our final view from the booth, and I'm going to ask the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, to be executive Matt Taylor as we head into this offseason, a pivotal offseason for the Colts.
Yeah.
What are those building blocks, the things you're building upon going into 2025, and those improvements that need to be made when the Colts get back on the field?
Yeah, I think on offense, what you're going to build around for next season is, the running game. I thought the Colts ran the ball really well for a majority of this season. I think they finished 8th in the NFL in rushing, averaging right around 140 rushing yards per game. And Jonathan Taylor finished the year a beast. The last 4 games, over 100 yards in each of those games, over 1,400 yards rushing for the season. I think he finished 4th in the NFL. It was vintage Jonathan Taylor. He had 6 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 games. So you just want to hit the pause button on his season and pick that back up starting in 2025. I thought the offensive line played really well this year, and a lot of guys were thrusted into opportunities and playing time. War of attrition hit that unit really hard this year. 8 different offensive line starting lineup combinations. Matt Gonzalez played well, Tanner Bortolini, but going forward, some uncertainty there up front. Ryan Kelly's a free agent. Will Fries is a free agent. Some uncertainty regarding Braden Smith's situation. So perhaps new center, right guard, and right tackle. We'll have to wait and see on that. The receivers, I thought, played really well this year. Michael Pittman Jr. played banged up for most of the year with that back injury. Alec Pierce, proved he's not just a one-trick pony. Josh Downs set the record for most catches by a Colts player in their first 2 years. So you're solid there. Obviously, with Anthony Richardson coming back in the passing game, he's a good runner. He's a good deep ball thrower, but the intermediate passing game from AR has got to improve. This is a huge offseason for him to improve his accuracy and just get more completions to sustain drives for the Colts.
And this is also going to be a huge offseason for the defense. Of course, the Colts are going to be in search of a new defensive coordinator. You can stay tuned to Colts.com for all of those updates as that search gets underway and pursues for that replacement for Gus Bradley. Therefore, the guys who you're bringing back, the pieces you're building upon, what are you looking to from that standpoint, kind of regardless of who comes in, what system he implements?
There's a lot of things that I think the fans and the media can point to when it comes to the failures of the defense this year, and I think those are all fair. The biggest one for me, Larry, as a former football player, I guess, is that the fundamentals really killed this team this year. The lack of tackling. The Colts were the worst tackling team in the NFL this year, led the league with the most missed tackles. So you can point to those things, just not making enough plays, not getting off the field on third down, not making enough plays inside the red zone, sort of that bend but don't break mentality. The Colts finished near the bottom of the NFL in all the major categories, rushing and passing, overall defense. They gave up over 25 points per game, but just too often this year, they gave up big games to non-powerhouse offenses, if you will, right? Some pedestrian quarterbacks put up some big numbers against this Colts defense. So that's what I want to see improved. And the Colts also on that side of the ball have some decisions to make too. You've got some starters who are going to be free agents. You've got Dayo Adangbo, EJ Speed, and also Julian Blackman in the back end.
And then from a special team standpoint, it's going to be all about coverage, right? Building off of this season, a lot of room for improvement with that group.
Yeah, the coverage units this year for the Colts, they've got some room to improve. I think the Colts finished 26th in punt coverage and dead last, 32nd in kickoff return coverage. And just some big plays that just stick out to me. That first Jaguars game on the road down in Jacksonville, Devin Duvernay in the second half with a 53-yard punt return really kind of set them up for a win against the Colts. Marvin Mims in that Denver game, second half too. He had two really explosive punt returns.
Major momentum.
Yeah, that was had the Colts won that game, maybe they're in the playoffs, coulda, woulda, shoulda there. And then the kickoff return for a touchdown by Emir Smith-Marset in that Giants game. That kind of broke that game open too. So you got to get better there. I thought the specialists had pretty good seasons. Rigoberto Sanchez set a franchise record for gross punting average for a single season. Matt Gay was actually perfect this year. Under 50 yards. He was 25 for 25, making field goals under 50, but struggled from distance, right? He was just 3 for 9 over 50 yards this season. So he's looking to bounce back next year in that regard.
Well, although this is our final Colts 360, we will continue all of the Colts content coming to you on all of our channels. Be sure you have the Colts app, all the social media platforms, Colts.com. We will be bringing you much more. And thankfully, although we have to say goodbye to our audience, I do not say goodbye to you, Matt Taylor. I'm right down the hall from you. But thanks to everyone for being a part of this past Colts season. We look forward to being back with you in studio to kick off the 2025 season in just a few months.